Alrighty, it is Friday, which means we are here with another community call. And although I am here alone, that is perfectly fine. I will still roll through the updates, drop some food for thought so that everybody can still know what's going on, where we're at, and what's to come. And as always, you guys can always continue to share ideas in the ideas chat and continue to expand on these ideas. So first and foremost, we have confirmed a date for the workshop. I did post that in the workshop chat with two different dates, and I didn't get anybody opposed to either. So what I've decided is best is going to be the very last weekend in March. So I figured that would be best. That way we have a full month or this month and all of March to get it together, get it out there and execute, and then we'll have like a little few days before our next season will get started in April. So with that being said, the workshop will be the 25th, the 26th, and the 27th. So with that, I'm going to talk to three different digi models to see if we can have a workshop for each one of those days. So I'm thinking, just one workshop a day so that way we have one event to really hype up. I know Musashi said he would like to lead one of those, and his is a in metaverse experience. So I'm thinking that could be Sunday for like a big finale. And those kind of things. I mentioned to you guys before how I would really like to get the digi models involved and have them teaching it. And, just to show that impact on where we are headed, right? Because this is the blackout. We are going right to the root to say, hey, we're going physical to digital. When you come together, you are going to make magic, and we're taking the future serious and showing people these are the kind of ways that the future is going to look using the stuff that we're talking about. Everybody's going to conferences in the metaverse. Everyone is making avatars. So us just putting it out there on how you can use your avatars is so impactful. So that's going to be the dates for the workshop. That's the idea for the workshop. I would love to hear some ideas with like a topic, or not a topic, but like, topics that you guys would like to hear. I know Sergio mentioned that he would also like to run a session. So something like that we can even include, whether that's during the Twitter Space workshop or throughout our actual big workshop. That would even be great, because we can have multiple as well. Maybe Saturday we have two workshops, or anybody in the raw realm that wants to, put out something that they have, that this will be the time to do that. So if you would like to lead a workshop, please reach out. That would be really fun. Maybe even some of us creators, just thinking about it, like maybe if we did like, say for example, I know like CJ crochets. So if we did something like, learn how to crochet, and it kind of be like a crochet little workshop or something fun like that, right? Just again, different things to show people, or even maybe Zay could lead like how to change your pattern into a pattern or a seamless pattern. Again, something that we've all learned how to do and are doing. Hey, Tiny. I'm over here just talking to myself. But no, I'm just kidding. I'm just going through. I'm still recording so everybody knows what's going on. I'm talking right now about the workshop and how I've set the dates for the 25th, 26th, 27th, with that being the last weekend in March. That way, that gives us plenty of time to get it together and start advertising. And we have our dates set, so now we really need to get everything else rolling, like working on our magazine. I know we have that whole magazine chat, but now, we really have to start putting it together, getting the resources, getting pages together, getting everything how we would like it. And I know this is all going to take a lot of work. So the data set, and I was saying how the theme will be blackout still, because obviously that's our theme, but also how, oh man, she dropped out. So, but again, also most importantly, how the theme is going to be about showing people what's going on and how physical is going to digital. Oh, there you go. Hey, Tiny. I could see you unmuted, but I still can't hear you. Well, no problem. I'm just talking away, and it's not going to be too long anyhow. So yes, I was saying the workshop dates have been confirmed for the last weekend in March, and how the theme is going to be blackout, but also with it being our physical to digital model, by using digimodels to really show people how the world is going physical to digital for real. On Instagram everybody's making avatars, and we're going to the metaverse, and just so many other things that are happening, and we are going to be that to show people that this is how you'll be able to use that, this is what's happening, and it'll make a lot of sense. So that's what's going on with the workshop. I definitely wanted to set that date so that way we can start securing our speakers, give them plenty of time to get their whatever their workshop together. I was also saying it would be cool to have kind of like a create with me workshop, even like you and I were just talking about your create with me live, but something fun like that, because we do also have a lot of physical designers to add to sprinkle in there to make the workshop a little fun. And then the last day, we'll have Musashi that can take us in the metaverse, exploring his spaceship, and just learning, how he's creating that and how that goes. So I've got to confirm with everyone that is going to be teaching, but we've got our dates now. So now we can all start working on the magazines, working on the workshops, and working on that content there. Welcome, Zay. I just was finishing up talking about the workshop. I kind of reiterated a few times, and I do have it recorded, so no worries. I've just mentioned the theme, how that's blackout, and how we are really showing people the physical to digital revolution that's happening, and how they can really see it coming to fruition. I know I just made my Instagram avatar, so it's like these are the kind of ways you can use these avatars, right? We're going to have them leading our workshops and being the influencers that they are going to be. And the date, like I said, is the last weekend in March. So that gives everyone plenty of time to start working, planning, promoting, and everything like that. I have also been thinking if we want to make this priced or free. And if it was a price, maybe something like $5, $20, it may not have to necessarily be super expensive. But I'm thinking, it might be a little better to add a little cost there so that people actually come through. I know that often makes a little bit of a difference with people just signing up, so that you feel good about people signing up and them actually following through because they've invested a little bit in it. So just thinking about how we can kind of do that. Maybe we could do it like a concert ticket, like how they do for like Rolling Loud or something, where it's like $5 a day or $10 a day. And if you buy the 3-day pack, then it's cheaper, or, something like that. But again, and then that will go towards our treasury, and also, maybe towards the models that are helping, or just anything that we have going on. We can figure out how to use those funds to put back into the community, because I also want to make sure those things are clear and in our foundation as well, right? Because in this Web3 world, we all work as a collective, and none of us are necessarily doing it for the money, but because we understand the future. But it's also important to make sure we're doing things that are profitable and that are going to be profiting in the future. So again, just finding ways that we can start adding that in our foundation so that it's natural, and again, it just is a part of this ecosystem, because money makes the world go around still. So definitely don't want to avoid that, and we can find good ways to implement that. Tanya, I see you've unmuted. What's up? Oh, I still can't hear you if you're talking. Okay. So I know you had to go out and back in before. I'm sorry. If you drop it in the okay, she's gonna go out and back in. So I'm gonna wait just a second here. Hey, Tiny. Let's give it another try. Okay, I seen it go green. What's up?
You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so I know we didn't decide on the dates, but did we decide whether it was going to be like a 2 day or a 3 day, or like did we make any decisions on that
N-
yet?
No, I put it out there and nobody said anything. So I have just
Okay.
decided to make it the last weekend in March. Looking at the calendar, I'm like, you know what? Because we do 3 months, it's better to just make it the very last month of March. That way, that's the 25th, 26th, and 27th. And then we would just have a few days left in March where we can all kind of regroup and then start the next season in April. So I'm thinking the last weekend will be great and make it 3 days. That way we can have two different workshops, Friday and Saturday, and then have the grand finale with Musashi that had dropped his metaverse, like his spaceship before. So I'm thinking that would be a really cool like grand finale to get people hyped up and involved.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I was just asking because I bet you know how the thing I sent you for Jevels, how they had like it was like $2 a day, so it wasn't expensive, and then you could pick like if you wanted to go all 3 days or you just wanted to go the one day or whatever. But
Right.
yeah, that little bit of extra money definitely does. Even if it's like $5, you know what I'm saying? It definitely makes you think like, damn, I paid $5 for that. I definitely better better show up.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, and it makes you want to follow through and make sure you get your $5 worth. Like you said, it doesn't have to be
Yeah,
anything crazy, because like we said, it's not about that necessarily, but just wanting people to actually show up and participate. So I think that would be cool. And then we can also find, fun ways to keep it interactive. That's what I was saying, even sprinkling in some fun workshops throughout that to, again, get people interested, hyped up, and wanting to follow through. So that's why I'm happy, I was just like, let me pick one of these dates since nobody really opposed either so that we can start to promote it as well. Because that's going to be, the biggest difference. I don't want to be promoting it the week of. Like, no, I want to be promoting it
yeah,
all March, so people know what we have going on and give all of us plenty of time to really get that content together. So I
yeah.
like
I mean,
that.
that works for. I know there's only three of us here, but that definitely works for me. That weekend. So
Yeah.
whatever everybody. I guess. So we have. Is that like set now, or are we still like throwing it
Yeah,
around?
yeah. I've said that so far since nobody said
Okay.
anything, so that way we can just start moving forward at least. I do want to talk to a few of the digi models that I've talked with that can lead those sessions, make sure that weekend works for them. I seen that the Global Designer Network had mentioned that they're going to have another Realm Runways sometime in March, although I wasn't sure which weekend that's going to be. But even if it is that same weekend, it's, right now in New York Fashion Week is happening and everybody's having a bunch of workshops along with the physical stuff. So I don't think even if it was the same time as a Realm Runway, that would really be too problematic, other than people trying to get their designs in. So that's also why I want to get this out there so that the people helping with this also have plenty of time to do other stuff as well. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfect.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that feedback. So, moving right along to our next area of business is what's necessary to onboard. So, with that being said, I know Zay and I have been really working on that onboarding process, and we've decided to make it a two-step process. And let me see if I can actually pull up our chat because I always say the wrong words with the two steps that it's supposed to be. Let me see, it's like the first step is, and Zay, hop in if you remember because I'm just scrolling through our chat now. But basically, it's going to be two steps. So, and excuse me if I don't remember the correct names of them. But basically, the way it's going to be is when people are interested in onboarding with the Raw Realm, the first step they're going to get is a Google document that they will fill out, and it'll be a questionnaire, and they'll be able to fill in, what their skills are, what their interests are, what their future plans are, just some very basic questions to give all of us an idea on what they're capable of, where they can fit in the realm, and where they see themselves in the realm. And then the second step, okay, so that step I think is called the initiation. And then the second step is pledging. And that's when they actually have to go through the effort of actually onboarding with the raw realm. So that's something we can all decide what that would include. Something I was thinking would be coming to our Twitter spaces And that way, every, Wednesday when we come together, how we do when we do a workshop with somebody, at that time, we can also have like them speak and give a little bit about themselves. So that way they get used to actually coming to our raw workshops on Wednesdays and being a part. Maybe they could even lead it if they have a really great skill. And that can be a really great way that we start streamlining our workshops as well. Because that's another big thing I really want to get ahead on is trying to get those raw workshops pre-planned out. Like if we can at least think of the next one or two, the next four would really be great. That way we have the whole month done. But even if we do the next one and two, that would be great because we do have elbow.eth that makes the posts for us. And I've been getting them the information really last minute because of we've had a lot going on with the Realm runways, but still just moving forward, I want to be able to get them all the information, plenty of time to make the posts. They take like a day or two once you actually put everything together. And again, I know everybody has their own stuff going on, so just try to give people plenty of time to get everything they have to done. So that's something I'd like to start doing. And if we have pledges coming in and they're willing to, lead these sessions, and now make it a little easier, also figuring out, okay, where they can fit in and making these schedules while they get onboarded. So that's something I definitely am trying to figure out. I know you guys seen remember last week we talked about the governance token and the roles. So again, this is going to be for other people who did not submit for the Realm runways that still want to be a part, and how they will be able to, because they will have to take these necessary steps since they, haven't necessarily put in that work just yet, which is letting us all know what they've got going on and putting that work in the network. So, did anybody have any thoughts about that so far? And of course, I know I just dropped it out there, but just as we are talking, Tiny, I see you unmuted.
No, I just wanted to say I'm sending Zuzi from Jevels a message now to see if like maybe she wanted to, but like I don't know. I'm trying to think of like more stuff because like what for the raw workshops it's supposed to be like learning stuff every time, right? Or it's just like just people
Yes,
in the community, or
yes and no. Yes and no. We can do all kind of things. Learning is always great, so something around there, but it can always be, a little mix of anything. Whatever we have, whatever you guys are thinking, because everybody in the community brings something different. So that's really more the idea. Like if you see somebody has something awesome that they're talking about, let's highlight that and give them this platform to talk about that. We can ask them questions, and that's what makes them more like that workshop. Or even like this week, how it was just like a shill your work and everybody could join and talk about, whatever work they're doing. Anything like that would be cool. And I know you also wanted to start like a chill and shill, which I was thinking could be maybe a different day and something we continue to do more consistent. But even stuff like that, like we had this big event, so everybody just come and chill and talk about your work.
okay, yeah. I'm trying to think because I mean I see I be on Twitter like a lot, like all in the
Right.
spaces and stuff. So I'm like I always find like really cool people that like to talk. So I'm like maybe I could just reach out to some of them people. You know what I'm saying, and just be like, hey, we do this thing every Wednesday. Like if you want to come by and talk to us about what you do, that would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that would be really great, especially because that will start to really help our outreach with that. Like if you guys seen, we have a lot of people that come every week already that are really not into the raw realm but like coming to those workshops. So if we start getting those speakers that are also in those rooms, everybody gets alerts when you start talking and once you're in those rooms. So we get a couple good speakers and people that, like what we're all talking about as well. We'll start building those consistent people that want to keep coming every Wednesday too. So and like you said, if you're on there a lot, feel free, reach out to them, let them know what the Raw Realm has going on, and if they want to talk about it, lock them in for a Wednesday at 2. Let me know, and we will get it out there.
All right, cool. Yeah, that's what I work on.
Okay.
Because yeah, I definitely see a lot of cool people, and I'm always just like like hyping them up. So I'm like, hey, I know they see me. So I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe if I reach out, you know what I'm saying? They'll be like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
like we seen that girl. So
Right, right. And that's a really good point, especially since like you said you are there. You have that presence, you might as well use that for the raw room as well and help, get them over here like, "Hey, come talk about that over here." So that would be really perfect, especially starting with Jevels. I hope that they are able to. And then even that, I would love for at that point more people to come up and co-host. I know I'm usually up there just asking the questions, but in those Twitter spaces, we see it's usually multiple speakers. So because you're familiar with them, I would love for it to be like me, you, them, all of us. Everybody in the raw realm could be up there speaking. Zay, everybody, everybody up there asking questions, keeping the conversation flowing so that we're just creating these really cool spaces that people want to come and listen to and be a part of. So thanks for that feedback. Really excited to see everybody that you started getting on board. And so, yes, so again, back to just this onboarding thing. So, those two steps, if there's anything that you guys would like to see in that initiation process with the asking the questions, kind of things they would like to, like the kind of things you would like to know about people coming into the community, feel free to drop that in the ideas chat. I know one of the questions I want to definitely ask is, how did you hear about the raw realm? Because that's something I always am so curious about. Like, how did you hear about the raw realm? What skills do you have? What software do you know? Different things like that. That way we know what roles to give people as our roles continue to develop. I definitely want to use a lot of the things the Global Designer Network has implemented, such as including that, like if people know Code 3D or DAZ or Unreal, just those kind of things so that it makes it a lot easier for us as we're trying to decide which collaborations will be fitting and just continue to put things together. It will just make our lives a lot easier in the future. And then from there, just thinking about, okay, what kind of work do we want to see them put in order to be a part of? I know Global Designer Network has really tightened up where you have to be minting a pattern or an NFT in order to get your Global Designer Network NFT now, because that's a contribution, right? So you really have to contribute to the network in order to officially get onboarded and get your NFT. So that's something to think about, especially with each role. You guys know we have 5. So at that point, it's like if you want to be initiated into this role, you have to do one thing. If you have to be initiated into this role, you have to do one thing. And maybe we have, one thing that each role has, or each thing you'd have to do for each role in order to be initiated, or something big. I don't know. And that's why I was like, trying to think about the best way to kind of streamline that process. Because if people want to do multiple, maybe they can just do like a bigger project, which leads me into the next one, which is on YouTube. So something I was initially thinking when I had set up the Raw Realm and how to get people initiated was have people make like quick little tutorials in the beginning, like whatever skills you have, make like a little tutorial that we can upload to YouTube as we're building our brain. Because something that I would really like to start doing with our YouTube is having a bunch of different channels. I know Tiny just started her own, which is great. And something she can do is also have a segment under the Raw Realms YouTube channel. So that way we can start really building up those views, building up that algorithm, because we're dropping stuff consistently. I've even alluded to how I want to start doing reviews for different random TV shows and even my teaching with my son. And I'm thinking, instead of starting my whole own separate YouTube channel for that, instead I can just start my own little segment under the Raw Realm, and that would be like my channel there. So that way people can continue to add to their channel, and we will become more like a TV station in that sense, where you can kind of go through, find whichever TV show you like, watch all the episodes. We have a bunch of different kind of TV shows and different things like that, in order again to show that impact on all the things that the Raw Realm is, and show people how you can look like whatever, have all kind of gifts, and still add to this network. right? So that's an idea how with the YouTube. And with that being said, that's really how I want to create our whole social media presence, which was a really big topic I wanted to dive in today, which was just making sure we're increasing our social media presence. And with that being said, I'm thinking of we need to make like a social media schedule. I've seen a lot of other realms really start to tap in on that. I've given the great example of the keeping distance realm, Indica, how she was able to really get everybody that's a part of her core team a day, and that day they do whatever they like. And like for me, that's Motivational Monday, which is just a thread in our chat, but that's still something that gets everybody involved, everybody talking, and people can do different things. I know Sativa, he does a Twitter Spaces, and he talks about crypto, and they have another one which is a music channel, and that'll be on another platform. So, and then another person who can stream on Twitch, as she's making the digital garments. So again, just finding a way that we can create a content schedule that everybody can kind of do something that works for them. Or even if it's not necessarily something that we all are in accordance of, if it's like a schedule, still finding different social medias that you're on. Like for example, I've tried streaming on Theta TV before, which is kind of like a YouTube, but kind of like more live. So it's all live streams. So it's like Twitch. It's kind of like Twitch and YouTube put together. But I tried it because I'm like, I want to be there on Twitch TV, right? So that as people are looking for Raw Realm, I'm everywhere. We are everywhere. I'm also on BBS.market. I know a few people have joined that already, but the cool thing about BBS Market is every post is an NFT. So you make a post, and when people like it, you're getting paid. People can buy your post if they think it's going to be something that people react to heavily. And the thing that they do, like the reason why they did that is because they wanted to start getting quality posts. And like I've made like $30 on there, and that's only because I slowed up. I would have been way up, but I had started using my other phone and started slowing up on that. But it's a great way to again start being in the space where people are familiar with NFTs, are familiar with crypto, and talking about this kind of stuff and making a presence and making our own. We have our own little raw token there where you can earn it if you check in daily. And the key again is making quality posts. So it doesn't necessarily always have to be about raw, because each channel does have specific guidelines that you have to follow and talk about certain things. But if all of us are there with our banner and making these impactful statements and making that presence still and showing that we know what we're talking about, then again people are going to start looking like, wait a second, what is this Raw Realm, what is this GDN DAO, like what do they have going on here? So again, putting our faces out there, our names out there, and making an impact within the space is our goal. So with that, also Clubhouse. Clubhouse is just like Twitter Spaces. It was like really hype at the beginning of the pandemic and kind of fell off, but now they are definitely making a comeback. So that's a great place for us to be, and having spaces where we can be talking about so many different things and get a really big audience, and a really big group of people to start talking about these kind of things. So something for like the Clubhouse, I was thinking we can have so many different conversations, like moms in crypto, moms in NFTs, even Tiny, the self-sufficient mom. So many people care about self-sufficiency, and for us, NFTs and crypto is an avenue to self-sufficiency. So us just, coming up with different titles and hosting these different conversations on Clubhouse will be so impactful again to reach so many different audiences and really start getting our names out there, our information out there, and not even like our names personally, but again, the Raw Realm and our work, right? Because we all have NFTs, and this just is a really great avenue to get your NFTs out, get your business out there, get anything that you have out there to a bigger audience. Because again, being here in the Global Designer Network and Raw, we're surrounded about around a bunch of other creators. So we need to go to the collectors, to the audience that may not know what's happening, and tap in there to get them on board and get them supporting, whether that's supporting by collaborating or supporting by buying and reselling, but getting them a part nonetheless. So of course we also have Twitter Spaces, Twitch. If you're on Facebook, that's cool as well. I'm not on Facebook, but if you are, you can even make a Facebook for the Raw Realm and run that or anything like that. But again, figuring out how we can tap into all these different social medias. There's even LinkedIn and Reddit. I've been on LinkedIn only because one person had an event there, and I've never been on Reddit. But I know, again, those are two things that are really important to tap into, because that's where a lot of professionals are and another gauge of audience. So just knowing which each social media platform targets and actually tapping into that target audience, that is what's going to continue to help us have this advantage and get ahead and get our stuff out there. So and I know when I had mentioned that before, Zay had sent me some really cool platforms. I think they were still more just like chat platforms, and it already be hard enough to get people over to Discord. So I wasn't thinking about more like ecosystems like that, but more places again where we can be putting our stuff out. I also was a part of fan base before, which is another one where again you kind of get paid for your posts. But just finding different random places where we could talk about stuff. What's up, Tiny?
Hey, so I was thinking, for the Facebook fucking sucks. Like the people on there are just terrible for the most part. But I was thinking maybe if we do the Raw Realm thing on there, we can really focus heavy on like that education side. So
Yeah.
maybe me and Zay, I don't know if Zay is listening, but maybe me and her can work on. We can set that up and then just kind of focus on like start with education first, because I mean I'm sure you noticed like the Facebook population is just fucking all over the place. So
Yeah, I've
and
noticed, and they had like a drop in there, people that have been interacting recently or whatever, but no, that would be really good, like that.
okay, yeah, I'll work on that, and then I don't know. I guess I'll text Zay and see if she wants to. I'd like make her an admin on there. I don't really know too many people in the space that are on Facebook, but
Yeah, but no, that would be really cool because then at least I know Zay had just went through and added stuff to the brain, so it's like that's something where we could
yeah,
just be adding stuff that we're doing anyways. We all write a lot of articles. I know one thing about Facebook: you get enough people to retweet, and it starts retweeting like crazy, So
hmm
just stuff like that will definitely make an impact, especially with it being a place that people that want to know how to go physical to digital, that's where they'll go. That's what they'll be looking at and seeing and learning, and can definitely help. So I definitely think that would be cool if y'all let that.
okay, cool. Yeah, I'll work on. I gotta do. I'm outside sweeping the porch right now, but probably like an hour
Yeah.
or two later tonight. I'll definitely I'll set
Okay.
that up and I'll send it to you so you can see how it looks and everything.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. And again, no rush. I know y'all know these just be ideas that we're putting out, but things that we have to start thinking of. Especially, I know, like I said, I know we're all about to be dropping NFTs, and that's what really made me think. Like I'm over here trying to think about my own promotion schedule and content schedule, and I'm like, and I don't need one just for me. I need something that's consistent that all of us can be adding to, that all of us can be a part of, to get the whole message out, to get Raw Realm out, because the more that gets out, the more that's going to help all of us individually as well. So,
Yeah, I really liked how we did the raw blackout. Like I really feel like that went well. So
yeah.
maybe if we just even like just post in like a simple question or some shit every day where we can all just like share on Twitter or whatever, hashtag raw realm or whatever, make up
Yeah.
whatever, make a hashtag or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But just
Yeah,
do
that would be
something like
cool.
that where everybody can say, and then even other people can join in because you see how other people joined in. I think like Misfit, not Misfit, the other one, Technical Malfunction. I think he ended up joining in
Yeah.
on the fun and like random people. So
Yeah, exactly. And the more people see, the more people that join in, the more people are going to join in. It's like one of those things. So even keeping distance, she's joined in and accepted the whole challenge and she's posted every day. So that's really awesome. And, that's been her way of, adding to it, which makes a difference because she has her whole own realm, but still joined in on the fun. And, again, it just shows people like, again, you don't have to be in the raw or be, doing the same thing. You can do whatever you're doing and still just participate in the fun. So definitely makes a difference. And I like that idea to kind of keep that momentum going, whether it's a question a day or something, that we can continue to do. That would definitely be cool. And I think that will also be
yeah, I
cool.
think that would be awesome.
Yeah, because we had said something like that anyways for like the moderators. So again, these are some things we can even tie in to like the roles and the strategists and that being something that okay, come up with the questions or an outline or anything that we can continue to do in that realm. So and then hold them accountable to participate, right? And then you can get some governance token for actually participating in. I think once that governance token is rolling as well, a lot more people will feel inclined because if all you have to do is reply to a tweet to, get your distribution for the day, then you're going to be wanting to do that every day so you can make sure you keep racking up. So I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like just like little simple stuff, like the question, like just post a question or whatever, and like people respond to it. Just little stuff, but the more like if it's easier, first of all, more people are gonna do it,
Yeah.
and then those people, then they'll have their audience, tapping into like what the hell are they always posting about on this raw thing? Like why are they always
Right.
tagging this fucking raw? Like
Right. No,
so,
I
yeah,
really like that
that's
idea.
perfect.
That's a really great idea right there, Tiny. I appreciate that. And that's all I really have for today was just talking about the final details for the Raw workshop, the dates, so that everybody can get rolling on that for the magazine and setting up what workshops, we are going to have, start getting some promotion ready, talking about the onboarding process, the 2 steps there, the kind of questions we would like to ask for people interested, and then the kind of things we would like to see them do to actually get their Raw NFT and become a part of the team, and then just constructing our social media presence. So, do any of you guys have any other thoughts or questions about anything that we've talked about or anything else happening in the realm?
I
No?
don't think so. I
Awesome.
think that social media plan is good. I think we should build on it, and I think I should start that Facebook group tonight.
Yay, yeah, that would be really awesome. Oh, and then one other thing too, just to since I just remembered, because we only have 1 month left of the blackout theme, and it's gonna come really quick. We need to start thinking of our next theme. I know I came up with blackout on my
Ooh,
own.
yeah.
Yes, but spring is right around the corner, so of course, we can do something around spring. That's why I also like kind of piggybacking off of the seasons, the actual seasons, because fashion comes in seasons, right? So I've already thought of some really dope like stuff that I'm gonna tie dye during the spring and the summer, but having the theme to kind of go with colors and just all kind of stuff will just help build that. So I know with our governance token, I'm also going to set up like a way to vote and set proposals. So there'll be a better way that everybody can share their thoughts, share their ideas, and then we can all vote on them. But we got to take baby steps. But that's the goal to get us to our next season. But again, just some more thoughts that we have to start thinking about, like as this season ends, going into our next season, and knowing we want to keep this consistent, right? We're going to keep doing the same things every season. Oh, and the merch line that I dropped with the season too. So even something like that I decided to start was the Bullish Lux merch line. This is something that I've revamped from an old merch line that I had where I made my very first tie-dye pattern with the Global Designer Network, and then I put it on a bunch of stuff. So, and my thinking behind that was again promotion and getting this out there. So with bullish lux, the idea is, well, lux means light, and bullish, we're bullish on everything. We're bullish in everything that we do. We're bullish on life. We are that bullish light throughout it all, no matter what's happening. Just like that, this whole blackout idea, right? Like we are the blackout. So just a way that I can keep that same mission but keep going throughout the season. So that's something I want to keep doing as well for each season, is having a pattern. And I was thinking, maybe if it's not even necessarily my patterns, it could be anybody's pattern, as long as they're willing to put it on the merch and not care, or maybe we'll talk about splits or something like that. But again, just finding different ways to start promoting it, getting it out there in so many different ways, and showing people how they can do this, right? Because I've made a pattern and now I'm putting it on merch. So this is again a way for me to show people how to use these patterns on different things. I use it on so many different flyers to show that, on so many different banners to show people like these are patterns and here's what you can do. I put a lot of my poetry on it, and I'd even like to start minting those as well as their own NFTs, because again, it's like bringing it all together. So just everybody finding different ways that they can continue to educate, continue to show that physical to digital in their own space, and just, growing from each other, using and bouncing off each other. I think that's something that's really great about the Raw Realm. That's what I was saying. Even if it was just here and I was just going to record this by myself, I know you ladies still would have listened to it and had amazing ideas to share after. And that's what really gives us an advantage here. So, for us to just keep building on that. And like you said, Tiny, just executing on these ideas that we're having and building, and we're going to reach the top sooner than later. So, but that's
Right.
all we have for
I'm
the.
thinking for the
Oh, sorry,
sorry,
go
for the
ahead.
theme. What about something like renewal or revival? That's kind of like spring type
Ooh.
theme, ain't it? Like renewal slash revival type stuff.
Okay,
And
okay. I like that. I like that. I like that for sure.
I think there's a bunch of different ways we could play with renewal too. So I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I like that idea too. And then like you said, there's even different ways you could say that, like revive or renew, or just like you said, that but that way of embodying spring in that way. And then like how we can create so many different fashion pieces off of that. Because especially as our little digital skills start developing and we can start building out these whole scenes and like these real
Yes.
concepts and stuff like that, like having those kind of broad concepts that we can really dive into, it's going to be cool. Especially I just had a whole idea, like y'all know, I think all of us have a lotus tattoo, like, and how
Yep.
that is always like reopening and reblossoming. Just okay. I got too excited about the next thing. I'm like, woo. So
Right?
yes,
Are
that's
we
a good
gonna
one.
do renewal? Because now I got all these ideas. Don't let me
Okay.
start going crazy with this renewal idea.
Put it in the ideas chat. Put it on the ideas chat. One thing I try to do is not make any last decisions without
Yeah.
putting it out there to everybody. And then if nobody's saying nothing, then it's like, okay, well, no oppositions, then here we go. And again, hopefully I'm able to get everything set up before then, so that way we can actually put it as a proposal and actually vote on it. I'm really gonna start buckling down on actually getting the governance token rolling, and then getting our snapshot voting rolling. I haven't dove into it too much because there's just so much research you have to do into that, and I'm not just like a just do anything, but I need to dive into that research. So because I still had to finish my course and finish this merch store for my own personal businesses, as well as I still have to finish this AR. If you have seen my story, y'all, I've been struggling. So, and it's funny now, but when I was testing it, it was not funny. And so hopefully I'm supposed to hear back from Paola today though, and we're gonna work on it. And then once that's done, that will kind of be the last thing I have to do with that. But I really want to get that down packed as well, because I'm sure once I get to Blender and start making the NFTs for the roles, that's going to be not the easy part, but I feel confident that I'll be able to follow the tutorials and do that. But I also want to make sure that I'm able to make the AR filter of it as well. So I'm really trying to tackle how to figure out this AR filter thing so that we can actually make a filter out of it, and that be an awesome perk that you get being a part of the global design, or not the global design network, the raw realm, so that once you get your NFT, you can put it on anything as a filter, and kind of just make all kind of really cool things with that. You could put it on anything. And I think that's going to be cool. So definitely trying to tackle that so I can get everybody their NFTs, and then start the governance token, and then start Snapchat voting. That is our roadmap where we are now. And then once we start that, we'll be officially a DAO. Then we'll be rolling. We'll have everybody roles outlined for what they have to do. We'll have everything outlined for what we're doing each season. And we'll just have to keep executing and building from there, putting it out there and taking over slowly but surely.
For sure. Yeah, we just gotta keep putting in that work because you see that it's only been. Well, I think it's been like less than 10 of us, but I feel like that broad blackout, that shit was everywhere. When I got on, when I be on Twitter, it's like everywhere. So
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And the people that are sharing, I think it may be only like five of us that actually share every day. But like you said,
yeah,
because we all retweet it, because we all comment, because we all post, it's making that blackout effect. And that's why I said, although we may not be the most digitally skilled, we are still, the impact that we have when we come together is truly amazing. So, and we all have different gifts for that. That's why, like you said, you being in the Twitter spaces, that's a gift that you have there. So we got to just keep tapping into that, doing what we can, and we know that the work is going to pay off. So we on the right track for sure, and just going to keep going down that path until we get to where we're going, and then we still going. Like, we ain't never stopping. So, yay. Okay, well, this has been a great chat. I'm going to be posting the recording here on YouTube so that everybody else can listen if they've missed it. And next week, we'll probably be back in the Digilex server. I didn't want to do this week because, again, I was thinking it was more like a think tank to talk about the social media plan. And then next week, we'll be in the Digilex server to actually give updates on everything that we have going on. So. Well, alrighty. Well, this was great. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.
all right. See ya. Thank you.